All right, we're going to get started. It's great to see such a big crowd here. Thanks very much for coming, each and every one of you. And I'll turn it over to you. To you, or?
Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come out and meet with us to give us input on our 5-year consolidated plan. I'll introduce Department of Economic and Community Development staff. I have Dave Dieter, who is the Assistant Director, and Veronica Fields, who is the Grant Administrator. We also have in attendance Renee Lamus, who is the Mayor's Chief of Staff. This meeting right here actually is going to be facilitated by our consultant, Bill Wazaleski from Mullen and Lonigan. And I'm going to turn it over to Bill, and he'll give you information on our 5-year consolidated plan. Thank you.
Thanks, Deborah. And so just to kind of set the stage for this evening, I'm going to quickly run through a PowerPoint presentation that will kind of provide an overview of the consolidated plan and annual action plan process. Also provide a little bit on the community development block grant and home and ESG programs. But really we're here for input from the public. So I will quickly go through this and then we'll open it up for general comments. As we said, the purpose of this public meeting is to get input on the city's new 5-year consolidated plan. The consolidated plan is a document that governs the city's expenditure of federal CDBG home and ESG funds for the next 5 years. And it really contains 3 main documents: the housing market analysis, the housing and homeless needs assessment, and the strategic plan. The housing and homeless needs assessment sections are really to look and to see if there's been any changes demographically or on the ground from a service provider's perspective, and really to get input on any changes on the ground. And really all this is the review of the demographics as well as the housing market analysis and the homeless needs assessment really helps the city craft its strategic plan for the next 5 years. And really that is the high priority needs that the city identifies moving forward, in which they'll use to provide funding for projects with their CDBG and home and ESG program funds. Finally, this document will also be the annual action plan for fiscal year 2025. I will say that we do not know what the city's allocation for fiscal year 2025 is yet. If you recall, Congress passed a continuing resolution just before Christmas, which extends the 2024 fiscal year until March 20th. We hope between March 20th and sometime in April that there will be a federal budget for fiscal year 2025. Once there is, HUD will have 60 days to provide its allocation to its entitlement communities across the country. That's important because the city cannot submit its annual action plan or 5-year plan to HUD prior to getting their allocation from HUD. As we said, these needs that we're looking to get input on relate to 3 main programs. The first one being the Community Development Block Grant or CDBG program. As you see on the screen, there are various eligible activities that can be funded under this program. I will say that's not a full inclusive list. That's a primary list of main activities that communities use their funds for. I will call your attention to several: so housing rehabilitation, public facilities and improvements, which is really streets, roads, sidewalks, removal and of blight through demolition, code enforcement, and then at the very bottom there, public services. The city can fund up to 20.98. Yay, 20.98 of its allocation towards public services, which are things such as programming for neighborhood centers, for Meals on Wheels, that sort of thing. And the city will do so that as well with their funds for 2025. The next program is the Home Investment Partnerships Program, or HOME. It's the sister program to CDBG. The main difference is that home funds can only be used for housing, affordable housing related activities. As you can see, those include such things as housing rehabilitation, home ownership assistance, new construction of affordable for sale and rental housing, and tenant-based rental assistance. The final grant that we're looking for input on is the Emergency Solutions Grant Fund. That program provides funding for shelter services and for homeless projects and activities. It can fund such things as street outreach, the operations of emergency shelter, homeless prevention, and rapid rehousing. It could also pay for the HMIS, which is the computer system that is used to allocate the funding and track beneficiaries under the ESG program, and it can pay for the operation and use of HMIS. We always get asked what are the income levels to be able to participate or receive funding under the CDBG program and home program. So you have to meet a low mod income benefit, and in Erie in 2024, you can see on the screen above by household size what that maximum income level is, up to 80% of AMI. I will say that these numbers change every year, and so in 2025 we would anticipate a new release of maximum income levels by HUD at some point, probably most likely in May or June of this year. Before we get to public comment, I just want to provide some guidance and some direction on what we're looking forward for input on. So we're looking for input to help, again, as I said, help draft the city's strategic plan, help its housing and homeless needs assessment sections of the plan. So we're really looking for input on things such as housing affordability and accessibility, housing types needed, those critical wraparound services that are needed to keep people who are in permanent supportive housing or homeless housed so they don't become homeless again. Information on underserved populations and subpopulations. What are some public infrastructure needs? What are the real changes that have occurred over the course of the last 5 years? Are there any emerging needs amongst these items? And then finally, economic and workforce development needs. So just a comment on next steps. So this is our final public meeting. We had one earlier today at 10 a.m. here in council chambers. And so this is our second public meeting that we're taking input on. We also have, once we develop this plan, we are required to put it on what we call public display for a period of 30 days. We anticipate that to be in early April to early May. Once that is completed, and we encourage comments on that plan when it's on public display, and we will let everyone know when that documents go on display for their comment, but we would encourage comment on those draft documents. Before we can submit to HUD, council will have to adopt our 5-year consolidated plan and annual action plan for 2025. Again, given the fact that we don't know the city's allocation and the city cannot submit its annual action plan or consolidated plan until they know their entitlement allocations, they cannot submit it. However, we anticipate that will hopefully be in early to mid-June. And then finally, as if you picked up an agenda on your way in, as well as we were asking you to sign in if you didn't sign in on the way in, but on our survey at the very bottom, we have a link to a survey that's in both English and Spanish. The QR codes are also on the screen. We would encourage you to take that. Our intent is to get as much public input, input from stakeholders, input from organizations that could potentially benefit from these funds. So we're trying to get the word out as much as possible. So we would encourage you to spread the word with your family, friends, colleagues, and have them take our survey. Again, just another opportunity to provide input. And then finally, this isn't the final opportunity for you to provide comments. If you don't think of something or something comes to your head after our meeting today, feel free to reach out to Deborah, and her contact information and her phone number is up on the screen. You can send comments via email. We'll take all those under advisement. So with that said, I'm going to turn it back over to Deborah to kind of oversee the public comments as we move on here.
Thank you, Bill. At this time, we ask for your input or your comments. We ask that you come to the podium, state your name, your organization, and tell us about maybe your projects, what you think is important for the next 5 years for the 5-year consolidated plan, whatever input you want to give. So anybody who'd like to come to the podium, we ask you to come now.
Good evening, Mayor and distinguished members of our city government. My name is Floyd Hull. I'm here representing the Achievers Entrepreneur Hub. We were given the opportunity through CBDG to open up the Achievers Entrepreneur Hub. It's a program established to try to help individuals be more successful in their venture to own their own type of business. Businesses, when you open, and even after you open them, you reach all kind of hurdles and stumbles, and a lot of them close, especially small business. Because y'all helped us, we able to help others. We have a group of individuals. We got a dance class we had 3 cohorts, three different groups of people that we have graduated. Businesses range from a dance studio, we have landscaping, we have daycare, and you realize that our government in our city really needs daycare, but we was able to graduate 2 people that have successful daycare and was able to help in that venture. We have landscaping, and we have newly, I don't want to call them immigrants, but new naturalized citizens. And one has opened a cafe over there on 8th Street. And with our direction and guidance, graduated from Gannon, took our program, and we was able to help him assist it. He still got some bumps and hurdles, and I'm right there to help him with those. And we got one that's still working. He wants to open a grocery store, but he wanted African-based. So, to bring those type of grocery items for all of us to experience. Unfortunately, he had a little accident. He had a stroke. So, he haven't gave up on his dream. But thanks to y'all, we're able to work with him and be patient with him. We have a young lady, we have a group going right now. She really wants to help our community, but it's a tall task. She wants to do home health care, but her idea is she wants to do it where they're not charging the patrons, their clients. She would like to get it where grants and all can help her send out people to pay for them, because she says it's a lot of people that go without, that needs the services, but can't afford to have somebody in the hall. So many of our elderly are laying on floors because they didn't fail and they don't have that. So she wants to tackle that, and I'm right by her side, trying to find out through Gannon, the Beehive, Erie Chamber of Commerce, and we have a great network thanks to the opportunity y'all gave us to try to build this network to help these people. So by y'all helping us, we able to help the community. We able to help cafes, businesses. The dance, the number one thing, the dance, you're giving children something to do after school. And that's something I think is very good. And it has grown. It's his 3rd year. She went from 1 student, I think she up to 12. And she's encouraging them and giving them something to do. Did I forget anything? Restaurant, 601 Brown, 24/7 Eats. It'll be open in a month or 2. That's some of our current. I guess it's telling me I'm talking too long. I'm sorry. But 24/7 Eats is going to be a soul food restaurant. They really tackling something. Opening a restaurant that never closes, that's pretty tough. Especially if you do it in the winter. I advise them to put that off. Let's don't do 24/7 right now. And I try to advise them. But if they do it, I'm right there for them. Even when they graduate, Achievers Entrepreneur Hub, thanks to the opportunity y'all have given us, be there for these business owners. I want them to be a part of our economic growth, to give back in. And thanks to y'all, we're able to be there for them and help them. Do I have any questions that I might can answer? Please know we greatly, greatly appreciate the opportunity to assist these individuals. And like I tell them, when they become millionaires, don't forget me, but I won't forget y'all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to provide public comment for our 5-year consolidated plan? We ask that you come now.
Good evening. My name is Cortasia McFadden, and I'm the new Youth Engagement Coordinator for the Youth Leadership Institute of Erie. So I work with Edison Nicholson, and I guess I just want to say thank you for the grant and the things that you guys do, because right now we are currently partnering with Perseus House Charter School of Excellence. And with that partnership, we have 30 students that we are currently coaching and mentoring, and we have 10 students that we're focusing on that are from the 9th grade, and we're able to follow them up until their senior year to make sure that they have all the academic needs and personal needs and financial needs and physical needs to help them flourish throughout their high school career. And also it helps us to be able to bond with the students, and then also having students see different individuals from different career backgrounds. So we have coaches from Port Erie and the 100 Black Men and the Erie Federal Credit Union. So different individuals like that, where we can bring them to come and coach and mentor the students. So they have that different career aspect of meeting individuals that aren't from the same background as they are, but they have the opportunity to meet individuals that can help them get to where they want to be or aspire to be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else who would like to give public comment? No? Okay. All right. Do you want to? We're done.
Thank you very much for me. We really appreciate the input side. There's not more people here to talk, but we appreciate what you said to us, and we'll do it hard to include that in what happens over the next 5 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.